Alright, hello everyone, it is GGgamercat-cosplay here, and I want to do a little bit of an assembly video of the monarque. So, I have not completely glued this together yet, because I wanted to show you how to assemble it with, there are some bits and pieces that I have already glued together with super glue. I use this. It's really great. And then I use epoxy glue, which I use this for some of the pieces. And I will also explain to you why I use two different glues and not just, let's say, super glue. Alright, so first of all, let's start with kind of the very middle of everything, which is the handle part right here. So when you purchase the monarque files, obviously you will get a different many different objects that you need to print on your 3D printer. This here is the handle. This is the standard handle that you will get and you will be able to print. This one was not really, it needs to be sitting over in this hand, was not really on my size. As you can see, it's not reaching all the way down. I know there is a separate piece that goes into here, but it was not really ideal for me. It felt awkward in my hand. So you can actually scale this up and make it longer, not wider, because then this little square will not be able to be in the upper piece, which is this piece right here. As you can see, I had a little bit of an incident. I will explain that in a little bit. So this is the original handle, and that is my new handle. I made this a little bit longer, I think 3 centimeters longer or something along the lines, but I had the issue that this square up here actually got a little bit higher, which was really annoying, but I could easily fix that with some, well, super glue and talcum powder or baby powder, which are basically the same thing. So you can do that. I would definitely say test print this piece first, see how it is in your hand, and then you can experiment a little bit with these size. This will not do anything to the bow, since this is a middle piece. It will be worse if you go in and mingle with this piece here, or some of the arches, or anything along the lines. So we just put this away. So the next piece here is in, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 pieces. So let's start with the upper part of the handle here. This goes into the handle itself. With that square, I have a hole here in the bottom piece, right? On here, there will be attaching 3 different prints. You have the arrow holster. It will have like a slot into it. As you can see, it sits nice and snug in there. I also use super glue to glue this in place. Then we have these two here. Those two are very different from each other. This one here, the little one, which is less square than that one is, needs to sit in the bottom. If that cannot fit snug in there, do a little bit of sanding out in the edges and you should be able to glue this into place. Here I used super glue as well as here. This one is a little bit more square. It needs to sit on the upper piece. So this is a top, this one is a bottom. Then we got to this piece right here, which have this like hexagon hole here. This piece needs to face, if you have it like this way, it needs to face that way, as you can see here. You can face it the other way, but then the bow will not look right, but it needs to face that way, outwards. As you can see, it looks like that on the back side. So then I want to move like upwards from this hole here. So there, you have two more pieces here. There is actually one thing I forgot to mention. In here, maybe you saw that here, you have these two holes here, and those are for the small packs here. You put that into place, and you then glue that into the corresponding holes that are here in that one. This is on the bottom piece, but we will come to that. But there are some small holes around. I will get to these in a little bit, because I will say that even though you get these here, I would recommend you to either switch them out to some metal ones or some wood ones, because these break relatively easily, and I have that happen to me. So I would definitely recommend of going over to a different one. If you are using this for just a display piece and not like as a cosplay prop, you can still go with these. And if you do not have, like, if you don't have like metal or wood rods laying around, if you can't find them, you can use these. There is no problem in it. But there are some different places where these also go that I will really recommend you using something else. So we move here from this. You have this little guy here, which goes into this one from the back side. There is a little bit of a different thing here, is that this have a little bit of a unique shape, so you will not be able to put this in any other way than the right way, like that. So it goes only down in one way. Now you get this part here, which I will actually say would be a good idea if you print this way and not face down, because there are some pattern here on the back side, so I would definitely recommend printing it like this. These two here are separate pieces, as you might have guessed with the colors. So we've got the main butterfly here, the big one, which just being glued into like a little socket that is right here. I used super glue again for this. The same thing go with the little butterfly button here. Also go down into a little socket. Now we got up here, which have two holes and one little hole here, which is square. Now here there is also supposed to be pegs, but I switched these out with, well, these are actually electrical wires, and well, but you can choose whatever you want. You can use the pegs if you want. It is completely up to you. I'm just saying that it would be a good idea to switch these out. So this one goes on to, as you can see, there's that hole in the back. Goes onto here in the back. And see right there. And you cannot put this wrong, because it can't go in without it actually being right. So it will be like that. And even though that this moves, be sure to glue it so it's not like this, but like this. Okay? It's very important, because otherwise it will not look great. So be sure that you have it all the way up there, that it catches on to kind of the threads or the little notches that are here. So I want to move this away, and then I will move more upwards from this part here. So I'll say that these next two pieces are really important that you keep like apart, because the one is for the top, the other one is for the bottom piece. They are different, as you can see, when it comes to the how this boy here, this thing here is facing. I will also recommend on printing it like this and not like this or like this, because then you will not be able to capture the detail there here. Definitely do that. So we got 2 extra pieces onto this one. We have this little square here that connects down and glues down to this one. You have like a little slot into it, and that one have like a long kind of peg to it, which glues down. I use super glue. Make sure that this little one lines up with that, so you get like a really nice kind of fit to it. We got that little connector square here. I'm gonna put that in place right there. This one is the top one. This is for the top main kind of arc, because this here points upwards. Don't make it pull downwards, upwards, right? And this one, again, as you can see, we have that little peg that goes into here, and you want to make sure that you catch on also to this square. There we go, it clicked into place. So now you've got this piece right here, right? We'll move up from, I just recently sanded this, so we move up from here, and since this is attached, I would just keep it like this. We got some holes here, and we got some holes here. Like, I'll find the pieces. Alright, so we got a few pieces here, right? So we got the kind of main big arc right here, which needs to sit like this. This is quite a big piece. Again, printed like standing up, it will be much easier for it to capture details and yeah, pretty much just capture the details. That's probably the most important thing, I would say, with Le Monarque. So it comes in like kind of 2 pieces here, which is this part and these parts right here. Now we need this one because this guy here faces upwards. Now this one also have like 2 separate kind of pieces here, which are these kind of claws or details onto it. There are some holes here that these ones actually fit into really nicely. I super glued those in place as well. So first thing we want to do, and if you want to ask why this, is because this one broke on me, but you can fix that with epoxy glue. That's the reason why that this thing here is gonna be with epoxy and not with super glue. So we have these 2 pieces here, which are the connector piece for the main, for this piece and this piece to connect to each other like so. We need this piece where the details is facing upwards. So this one is for the bottom part because it faces this way. So it goes to the bottom part. So that one sits in here, like so. I will glue this in with epoxy as well. Now this guy goes on top of that, like so. In here we have some small slots or some small holes. Same thing goes in here. There are 3. The last one is hidden under the tape here, and we got 3 different sizes of these boys right here. And what you want to do is you want to find one set which is a short, a medium, and a long one. Now, of course, I do not have the short one right here right now, but this is the long one. Oh wait, we got a set right here. This is a small and this is the medium one. So, as you can see, there are a size difference between these. These need to sit in here. So, for example, the short one goes on the inner part here, right, like that. The middle one, of course, going into the middle one, but I can't really do that because of the tape. And then the long one obviously goes here on the outside, like that. So, that is that, and I'll probably glue these into place with either epoxy or super glue. I'm not entirely sure. So now we also have these parts here, which goes like these two parts, which connects together. There's a hole here, and this one goes in there. Glue that into place. And I'll just take that one off. This one goes into this little slot right there. And this sits nice and snug. This is the wrong one. There are different ones for the up, the bottom, and the top. Like so. This one needs to be in the bottom section, I believe. Yeah, so like this, right? And then this one goes on top of that. So you have this thing here. Again, I have not glued those things. I'll just put this aside real quick. And now we want to focus onto this one and this one. There is one thing I'm going to tell you right now that I found really, really interesting. Now I'm taking this piece as well here. And that is, again, I have some electrical wire that I will use as my pegs. These connects into this one. Obviously, I need to flip this. Now you can see when you flip it, this actually goes downwards. So this is for the lower part, but I just want to point something out here. Okay, so as far as I can see, this is actually for the bottom like arc. So one thing I will point out to you right here, right now, is that if you put the pegs in and you line these up, you will see it scoot off to one side. They will not line up with each other. And that is because the holes on this one and this one are aligned to each other, so you will not be able to, you know, have this the wrong way. So this one is actually for the bottom part of the monarque. Alright, so we also have a hole here, which is for this guy, which have two pieces. We have this guy and this guy. So these two basically just glues into each other, and then this part goes into this part right here, so that looks like that. Then next up, since I want to focus on, I'll just put that. I'll put these away. And I have this. And let's just take, well, this is the bottom kind of arc thing. And we have the wheels right here. And we need the kind of connector parts, pegs as well. You need to print 2 of these. And these two are different in size, as you can see here, and that are corresponding to the holes that are in these things here. So we got 2 big wheels, we got 2 of these guys here that have this little thing right there. You got 2 of these. Then you got in total 4 of the smaller ones, but 2 of them have a bigger hole, which is these 2 here, while the other ones have a significantly smaller center hole. And that is because this one fits into that, so the smaller one, while the, as you guessed it, the bigger one connects into that one. So I want to start off with this one. Here you need a big, like a small wheel with a big hole, and then you need one of these guys. The first thing you want to do is you want to go here. You want to put this one through, not all the way, obviously. Put that through there. Have that a little bit out. Turn this around. Then you put in a smaller wheel first, like so. And then you take this wheel here and you kind of pop that down and into place onto that one right there. And there you go. You got kind of the first wheel system right here for Le Monarque. We'll come down to this piece and this piece both have a hole, and they are the same. So here you want to take, not that one, a small wheel with a small hole and a big wheel. And this one, you need the big wheel. You need to put this one through there. Then you want to put the small one through here, like so. And this hole here, you basically just put that in there. And then you got one more assembly wheel right here. And that's pretty much how that is. And I will say, now when we are just here, that this is the lower part. For Le Monarque, we have like a blank kind of disc here that goes onto this one. It glues in, and I used super glue in this one as well. And the same thing goes with this one, just like the top part. Just like this part, right? They are just a little bit different. Now, let's go back and take the handle part right there. Oh, I know we got a lot going on here on the table right now, but let's move back to this guy here, because now we're gonna build down. This whole system here applies to the bottom part as well, but I will explain that, don't worry. So we have like a bottom here, we have an extra thing here. So this is the bottom part of the handle. So this one have one piece here that is a part of the stabilizer. This one, when that goes into play right here, this one needs to face like it will have like a little nook that goes into this one, and that needs to have like kind of look like kind of a ish like a check mark, right? Goes like that. It have 2 pegs as well. Again, I will switch that out with these guys, and then I want to glue that into place using epoxy. So that goes like this. Now, put that aside, take these off. Now, as you maybe can see here, there's actually a hole here. This hole here is for the stabilizer that goes on the front. Now this one consists of two pieces, the main body part and then the little cylinder right here. And what you can see here is a carbon fiber rod. You can use a metal rod as well, but I used a carbon fiber. This is a 6mm one. You can use a 5mm, but I would definitely recommend a 6mm one. And this is around 35.5 centimeters in length. Now this one, I want to keep this separate due to the reason that I want to transport this easily around. So if you're a cosplayer like me, keep this separate, or if you want to transport it around, keep it as a separate piece, because that goes nicely into there, and that it doesn't move anywhere unless you obviously take it out. So if you want it as a display piece, you can just put that in there and everything will be good. And we want to move down. So if you remember this piece, then this piece goes onto this one right here. And line this guy up, the arch here, with this line right there. This one you can end up putting like this, and you don't want that. Have it faced this way. So you kind of line this up with this arch right here, and then the whole assembly that we just did with this part applies exactly to this part right here. As you can see, they are exactly the same. It just goes differently. That's the other way. And there you have obviously this one. This one now points upwards, that you put into this, obviously as you did before, and then you put the arch in, and all of the stuff that we did before, because now you will have like a separate piece if you did the upper part. If you did the upper part first and then the lower part, then you will only have a few things left. And that is pretty much it on how you assemble the monarch. So if you want to pick this up yourself, go on to anarchyprops.com and you will find this model and everything. There are also some really good pictures along with it. I at least got them since I commissioned him to do this. You will get some amazing pictures with it. See where things goes. And one of the pictures, there is a whole kind of breakdown, and the bow is in different colors, so you can see the different places on where things need to go, which I find really helpful. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little quick assembly video, and I'll catch you next time.